everybody, welcome back to the program. I am very excited because my longtime friend is here, host of Viva Ska Radio, DJ Jr Ska Boss, but I know him as Josh.
Hey, how you doing?
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, dude, I'm very excited to be here.
For those of you who don't know, I met Josh in high school. So.
Yes, I was kind of the guy that didn't, I don't know, I was friends with everybody, so it was like, I played sports but wasn't a jock. But
it's true.
I was in bands but wasn't a musician. So it was like,
it's true.
It's true, yeah, you know what I mean? It was like, I wasn't really into music, but I tried out for choir and did all the other stuff.
You sang. I mean, there was a hot minute I tried out for your ska band.
Yeah, we did that at your house.
Yeah.
And then we did one practice and never did any more. Yeah. And then, because like everyone got busy. So we really that was the existence of our band that lasted all of 3.5 hours. That's as far as it went.
Do you remember your first ska show?
Yes. My dad took me to see Madness actually when I was about 8 or 9.
Wow. And
so I got to see Madness, and then he handed me actually this Specials album right there, which is awesome.
Wow.
And he got it signed. We had it signed by the band, and that was my 8 or 9-year-old experience seeing these groups when I was so young. And I've been listening to music, for everything. I mean, without my mom and dad, I wouldn't have heard all the music I heard, but that's how I got into ska. But the funny part is when I was little, didn't really know it was ska music, I guess. I grew up on a lot of the old Bob Marley and a lot of the Specials and Madness and stuff like that. And then later in my early teens was like, oh, that's ska music. I've been listening to that since I was 7 to 9-year-old,
And we came about right at coming of age, like teenager, when you're going to shows on your own, was like the nexus or like the rise of third wave ska
nexus of everything. It was like when everything was blowing up for the second or third time, and it was like, holy cow, this is happening.
Yeah, I felt like we were riding that wave. Yeah, and it was awesome. And we had the local band Slow Gherkin in Santa Cruz. Yep. And that was my first experience. Yeah. And it blew me away.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I still remember seeing you as the official go-go ska dancer for a different band in Santa Cruz, Sneaky Creekins.
Sneaky Creekins, yeah.
Yeah, and like you would tour with them.
Yeah, we did a show with Slow Gherkin down it was in the basement at, the Vets Hall?
Yeah.
And sold out, packed out. And I just hear, sideburns. I walked down the stairs and I was like a celebrity. And like, I jumped on the stage. It was New Year's Eve in like 99, 2000.
Oh, wow.
And it was like, I go down there and it was like I was a huge celebrity. And I wasn't really in the band. I was just the goofy guy that jumped in dancing. So then they made me like take off my shirt and I'm in there and like I jumped down, and I'm playing this show and I'm like, they're like, you're dancing with us now. I'm like, okay. And all of a sudden I get down there and I'm like, oh! And it was just crazy. I was like, what? Like, it blew my mind. I was a local celebrity. Like, I could walk in a room anywhere in Santa Cruz and be a celebrity,
But you were, at least in my mind, you were always the guy that stuck with it. And I remember going to Viva Las Vegas because eventually you moved to Las Vegas. Yeah. And then Phil and I would go there and meet you there. And you were always talking about the next band or what you're doing in ska. And then eventually, 8 years ago, we come to, you decided to have a radio show.
Yeah.
What fill me in on the spots that led up to the radio show.
I was DJing across town, and
I remember that. Yeah.
It was DJing all over Vegas, starting to DJ all over town. I landed some really big shows, and how I got my show actually was a radio station hit me up from seeing me open up and DJ for Madness.
Oh wow.
And I got the call from Suggs, the singer.
Wow.
And it was like, him and his British voice, like, hey, you want to open up for Madness? And I was like, yeah, F off. Like, you're not Suggs. Piss off. Like, whatever. And I'm like, fuck you, click. And he's like, no. And my buddy is the booking agent at House of Blues. And he goes, hey, bro, did Suggs call you? And I'm like, what? I'm like, what do you mean did Suggs call me? And he goes, dude, he was trying to get you. He saw a video of you DJing. Someone filmed you.
Yeah.
And he loved what you did. And you played soul and ska. And he wanted you to open for them at the House of Blues. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I just told him to screw himself. Like, oh my God. So he's like, dude. And I called him back. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, you're like my favorite band. Is there any way?
Yeah.
And he's like, we get that all the time. And it was just really awesome. He was super cool about it. I get to open for Madness. the band shows up and we do a shot. So we did a shot on stage, and I got to sing a bunch of songs with Madness and hang out. It was amazing. And had a blast doing that. And they were like, hey, Junior Ska Boss, and it was really cool. And then I got a call from the radio station, which was Double Down Radio at the time. And they were like, hey, we saw your show. Would you like to have a radio show? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Like, that'd be great. And that's how I started. It's been 8 years. This is my 8th anniversary right now.
Yeah.
And, it's the funny part is prior to that gig, I was given Junior Ska Boss a name by a world famous ska DJ, Double Barrel Sound System, my buddy Paul. And then between that, then we did Ska Circus in 2007, I want to say, 2006 and 2007. And it was a big hit. And then the guy who produced the whole thing was like, I'm just, not going to do it anymore. Bye. So it was like a 5-year hiatus, and it was just like, okay, cool. And we decided, my partner and I, who owns a magazine in Vegas, and he was like, why don't we do our own show? And I'm like, cool, well, we should. And then he goes, what would you call it? And what would you do? And you come up with the idea, and you come up with everything. And I'm like, okay. So I came back to revisit about 3 to 6 months later, and I go, look, we're Vegas. Why don't we just call it Viva Ska Vegas? So it was kind of 2012 we started that.
So it was almost around the same time as the radio
It was
show.
popping off the same time.
But you'd been like a festival runner prior to that.
Yeah.
You've been like, because of Vegas, it's all about.
Right. So we did that, kicked off the year, and we did it. It was, we're getting people from around the world. So now we're this world-known festival.
Yeah.
And it was just like something that I was bored and just created. And it was like, okay, cool. It was like, why don't we bring it back?
Yeah.
So it made me feel really good. So I'm happy to announce it comes back. The festival itself comes back March 20th and 21st, which is actually the weekend of my 40th birthday.
Wow.
Yeah. So on the 19th, I turned 40.
Yeah.
March 19th.
So it's all just a big party for you.
Pretty much. It was actually kind of funny part is that was what it was going to start out to be. And a bunch of my bands were like, we just want to play. And then my business partner was like, why don't we just do this Viva Ska Vegas then and make it your birthday plus this big ska show? I'm like, great, cool.
Plus the anniversary.
Right.
I'm kind of curious. I know you. We go back, I don't even want to do the math, but we go back pretty far. But what is it about ska music? Like why, a lot of people would have dropped off by now, but obviously your blood is checked, black and white.
It's being that I have ska bands tattooed on me, so
yeah. What have you ever thought about that?
To be fair, the music's always made me happy. And the thing is, I like everything from original, from the late 50s to current. Mm-hmm. Everything from the ska, the punk, the ska core, the whatever they have. And the music's just always, when I've ever felt bad, I could put on any ska tune, and Specials, Madness, Monkey, whatever. And I'm like, okay, the beat is good. It makes you want to dance. You tap your toes. I get a smile on my face. And it's, stuff I've learned from 20 years ago. I've listened to some 90s alternative bands that I used to listen to in 94 to 97 range, and they just the albums haven't held up to me.
Yeah.
And I'll put on a ska album, and this is 40 plus years old, and it's still that's still a great album. That's still a banging album. And now almost 40, get to show my kids the music. They are into the ska music, and they love listening to ska with me.
Yeah.
And it's I can put it on and they can all run around and dance at the house, and it's like, okay, cool. And I've taken them to a bunch of ska shows, and they get excited, So now they're like, oh, we love Monkey and we love Aquabats, and and it's so for them to see the generation of bands that only we get to watch, and then I could show them the older stuff and go, wow, that is really cool. My son wants to play, he wants to play trumpet and tuba and other cool stuff because of hearing some of the ska bands. He's like, wow, there's a horn in there. I like that horn line. I want to learn how to play. Yeah. And so then we have gotten him some horns, and he's going to start playing that. And he's like, oh, well, I also want to play guitar. It's a really good guitar riff. And I'm like, cool. It's a lot of that stuff. And he's like, cool, I love this. And my daughter was drumming because of that. So it's for them, all the kids, to actually learn it and see it and get to be a part of it. It comes around and just continues to make me happy.
And also, it's interesting, too. I'm glad your children are taking up instruments, because that's a real decline. Music leaving schools, children not really interested in instruments. They'd rather get keyboard, or not even a keyboard, just a computer and a microphone, right?
Right. And it's interesting. So I like the fact that You know, the kids are still into it, but it's. I think it's going to take some time to bring them back. I think you have to play something that they go, okay, I want to play that.
Where are we now? What's the current state of ska music in 2020?
Right now, it's funny because they're starting to do, you know, we had the first wave, second wave, third wave, and now there's the fourth wave. They have bands like the Interrupters popping off. You have bands, and then you also have a lot of these ska, like the ska en Espanol. A lot of Hispanic skas blowing up.
Oh, interesting.
And I mean, the biggest scene is in LA, and you can do what's considered to be local bands, and they'll do 10,000 people strong at a festival with quote unquote backyard garage bands. And it's fun. There's celebrities here in town, and like it's in all of Southern California. Like this show, like these bands just do huge numbers.
What kind of stylistically sets it apart, other than it's in Spanish?
They've taken a little more of an aggressive. Definitely taken more of a lot of the punk rock scene.
Okay.
And added a lot more speed, a lot more horn driven. It's really angsty. Like it's just like, whoa, it's like that brings that old punk rock feel. But if you don't go and check these out because they're in Spanish, I don't need to watch them. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Like there's this any of the ska en Espanol stuff in this area is fantastic. You know, I hope it sticks around a little longer than 3 years this time. You know, I hope we kind of, with festivals coming back, there's so many festivals going on between Punk Rock Bowling, Supernova Ska Fest, Viva Ska Vegas. I mean, there's London International Ska Festival. That one has a lot more traditional and some really good bands. Like, if you can go support all of these, please do.
How do we find your show?
You could check out, I'm on Wednesday nights, Pacific, 7 to 10 p.m. on dustdevilradio.com. So it's internet, you can check it out. I'm doing that, it's a good thing. It's 3 hours of ska music and usually me rambling about ska, kind of what I'm doing now.
Yeah. And then if we want to find out more information about the festival, where do we go for that?
For the festival, go to vivaskavegas.com, or you can check it on my page, Viva Ska Radio, and or the Viva Ska Vegas Facebook page. Just search up Viva Ska Vegas, it comes right up.
Awesome.
So the only problem is if you put up Viva, and like usually the Rockabilly show comes up first.
Right.
But then if you do Viva Ska Vegas, we're number 2 because, we're a ska show.
Yeah.
So,
it's all good.
But it's cool. Check us out anytime. Check me out on Facebook. Please like me, man.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, man.
Yeah, of course. Thank you again.
Yeah. And thank you for watching. Be sure to check out DJ Jr Ska Boss's radio show when you can. I am your vinyl geek, and I'll catch you on the flip side.